Welcome to my blog. I'm Emily and this is That Carnivore Life. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Check out my gorgeous little shirt. It's beautiful, love it. In today's vlog, I'm going to talk about red meat and I'm also going to provide an update on how carnivore is going for me. But first, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification to be notified of any and all future uploads. Okay, let's talk red meat. Have you ever had somebody tell you that red meat is not good for you? Or that eating large serves of red meat or eating it often will increase your risk of cancer? I have. Personally though, I never actually believed it. Honestly, my thought was like, yeah, right, whatever. If red meat is negative for our health, we actually should not eat it. Or we should eat it a lot less if we're eating it in large amounts. But if red meat is not negative, then we should absolutely keep eating it. It has lots of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and healthy fats, all of which are good for us. So why wouldn't we eat it unless it's negative for our health? WHO, the World Health Organization, have stated that red meat is a probable cause of cancer. And because of that risk, we should limit our consumption of red meat. So some studies have shown a small correlation between the consumption of red meat and an increased risk of cancer. These are studies, however, with data collected from FFQs, food frequency questionnaires. There is actually not a single controlled study to prove the link between red meat consumption and an increased risk of cancer. I want to take a moment to explain what a FFQ is, or a frequency questionnaire, and why they aren't reliable. Frequency questionnaires ask a series of questions for a participant to answer. For example, a question will ask, how many 8-ounce ribeye steaks have you consumed in the past 3 months? Or it will ask how many red meat meals you have eaten each week for the last 3 months. The answers to these questions are usually guesses or estimates. They're rarely, if ever, absolutely exact. Also, some participants aren't going to answer completely truthfully. It's not that they're lying, they just feel that the person conducting the survey may judge them, or people reviewing the results may judge them, and so they don't answer fully truthfully. These studies are not randomized, nor are they double-blinded. There are also co-founders. For example, a red meat eater could also smoke or consume alcohol in really large volumes. These are both known to increase cancer risks. These co-founders can result in false conclusions from skewed information, meaning the study and the results of the study, they're actually rendered useless. In my opinion, and the opinion of many, humans have been eating meat, specifically red meat, for a really long period of time, way before we cultivated grain, fermented wine, or produced cheese. So to say that red meat now all of a sudden isn't good for our health actually seems really bizarre, at least to me anyway. Anthropology and archaeology both don't provide any reason for us to be concerned with the consumption of red meat or it being associated with an increased risk in cancer. So here's my final thoughts on red meat. I'm gonna keep eating it. I still personally just don't believe it's harmful for my health. I believe it is helpful for my health. I will say some people are going to bring the argument, well, what about wheat and gluten? That's been changed so much that it's not like the original that people ate when we first started eating it, and that's why it's not good for our health. So what about the fact that cows are now fed that grain? That's then affecting them and, not good for us. Yeah, probably right. And that's why you can get grass-fed meat and you can eat that. So there are alternatives. I'm not going to go into that, but that just gives you an idea. The quality of meat that we have or can get access to is very similar to what our ancestors would have eaten, whereas with grains, we can't get that original grain anymore. And that's the big difference between grains now and then and meat now and then. My reference for this information on red meat was obtained through Dr. Ken Berry's book called Lies My Doctor Told Me. He also has a YouTube channel, which is a great source of information, and his book is available through Kindle. That's where I have it, but I also think it's available through several other sources as well. You just need to jump on Google and check that one out. Let's talk how I'm going on carnivore. It's been almost 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks this weekend. It's Friday night as I record this vlog. I've lost over 7 pounds, which is fantastic. I've noticed my gums aren't painful at all anymore and they're barely bleeding when I brush, like barely, which is fantastic. My bowel habits are adjusting nicely in the adaptation phase. I noticed this at least at a week and a half, and it's been almost an extra half a week, and they're basically back to a normal consistency. Not quite, but they're pretty close. I also noticed heartburn's less, which is really nice too, because that was getting very uncomfortable. I haven't actually taken any measurements of my body, like inches wise. So I don't have those for you, sorry. But this is what I've noticed. I've noticed that my stomach and abdomen is a lot less bloated. My pants fit way better. I'd actually just bought a couple of pairs of new leggings and I'm gonna go have to get a smaller size, which is fantastic. I've also noticed my t-shirts and sweaters and hoodies are fitting a lot better around my chest area and around my arms, which is a really nice feeling. That was a super swift response from my body, which is great. Oh, and today specifically, I've noticed my jawline way more defined. And I've also noticed my legs, both my calves and my thighs, looking a lot more trim. I also feel like I'm moving a lot more nicely as well. It's easier to get up and down off the floor with children, which is a really fantastic feeling. I do still have dry eyes, but I have noticed I'm using the dry eye drops only about 50% of the time instead of morning, night, and sometimes overnight. And so that's been a huge relief because that was really uncomfortable. Now, what have I been eating in these last 2 weeks? The first week I actually ate a lot of scrambled eggs for breakfast and I put cream in my scrambled eggs as well as in my teas. I really need to reduce the amount of cream I'm consuming, but I don't want to change the way I eat my eggs. I've tried that before. I don't enjoy them. And I also really want to keep enjoying my teas. I don't want to have to cut them out. And so what I decided to do instead was I was going to have scrambled eggs every other day or every third day. Actually, this week I haven't had scrambled eggs at all. Unintentional, I just didn't feel like them. I have eaten raw egg yolks. There was 2 or 3 days there where I ate raw egg yolks for breakfast, about 2 to 4 egg yolks depending on the morning. I don't know why, I was just craving it. I haven't craved it since. I've also eaten sunny side up eggs as well as bacon. I've made my own meatballs that had bacon in them and raw cheese. I've eaten ribeye steak, I've eaten pork loin steak, and I have eaten raw cheese, and I've noticed my body responded way better to the raw cheese. I realized I hadn't even felt like I'd eaten cheese, and I didn't even realize there was a feeling that I felt when I ate cheese. So that's really, really good. I won't be getting it often, but I will treat myself to it from time to time. It is expensive, but there were a couple of moments where I was caught out. I wasn't really hungry. I knew I wouldn't be home in several hours, and I needed just like a little something in my belly to tie me over. So I just pulled a little corner off the block and munched down on that, and then I was fine until I got back a few hours later and I could cook some food. I've also had hot tea and iced teas. Both are black. Both I put some heavy cream in them. I don't have any sugars or sweeteners in them, so they're literally just water, the tea bag, and some heavy cream. Oh, and a couple of nights ago in a pinch, I got a 12 pack of grilled nuggets from Chick-fil-A. I don't like doing that. I did look up the ingredients. I'm not happy with the ingredients. It isn't just plain chicken with some salt and pepper. It does have other stuff in it. I would not classify them as gluten-free, but I was in a pinch and I knew that it was a semi-safe alternative for me just as a once-off. I purchased an air fryer. I was never gonna do this. I was completely opposed to air fryers, but Costco had a brilliant sale. It's normally $49 or $59.95 and they had it for $39.99. And I decided, well, Costco is an easy return. I'm just gonna try it out. If it's terrible, I'll return it. I was going to do an unboxing and first impressions for you, but for some weird reason, even though I was so against air fryers, I was too excited and I just ripped open the box and started using it then and there. Anyway, after being very skeptical about this air fryer, I love it. Go get yourselves one. Don't hold back. These things are incredible. The things that I love about it, it's easy to clean. It can also go in the dishwasher. Not the whole thing, but the cooking element parts. It's fast and the mess is contained. So far I've cooked ribeyes in it, pork loin steaks, and meatballs, and I think I perfected my pork loin steaks this evening, and so I'm super thrilled with that. As I progress into my 3rd week of doing carnivore, I'm actually really impressed with how easy it is to stick to carnivore once you make the decision to do so. And once you get past that first week, that's a bit rough, and sometimes that first week is more like 2 or 3 weeks for some people. In my next vlog, I'm going to talk about FODMAPs, and I'm going to address those and why having issues with FODMAPs might lead somebody to going carnivore or even keto if they don't want to go full carnivore. So please come back, hit that bell notification to be notified of my upload on the FODMAPs. That's going to be really interesting and a really insightful vlog that will be up next Saturday for you all. Please leave your comments and questions down below. I would love to hear from you, what you think about this vlog, what you're looking forward to about the FODMAP vlog, and any questions in general that you have for me. Please remember to like this video video, you hit the thumbs up to do that, subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification for future uploads, and share this with all of your friends and family. Thank you for joining me. I'm Emily, and this is That Carnivore Life. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next time.